Good morning, good afternoon, good evening to everyone. Welcome to Wake and Stretch. This morning is quite wet outside, so I have moved myself inside because I don't want the menopause, I don't want the humidity. I feel like I just need it to be a little bit more simple, a little less complex with all the moving parts. So here we are inside. I'm also a little bit sore from being so ambitious of filming so many videos yesterday, so today might be a little bit more gentle. We'll see how it goes. I can say that, and then once I get on the mat, it could be the other way around, I don't know. Because usually when you're sore, the best thing you can do for yourself is do more of what made you sore. Even though that doesn't seem logical, it is. It'll work out the lactic acid that has developed in the muscles and in the body. So anyway, I think that's all I'm going to say about that, and I'm going to jump on the mat. Well, I'm going to walk on the mat. Let's just be real. Who jumps on a mat? Anyway, here we go. I'm going to find a child's pose to start out with. Taking stock and seeing what feels like what today. How my back feels, how the legs and the hips feel, how the arms feel, shoulders. From child's pose, bring those knees to parallel and then gently walking the legs back and finding Sphinx. Yeah, good morning, lower back. Just finding length through the upper spine, letting the chest open up, shoulders rolling down and back. So finding some energy through that upper body while the lower body is nice and relaxed. Abdominals start to engage. Shoulder blades are pulling down and back, pulling kind of together. At least that's how I imagine it in my brain. And from here, I'm going to keep the forearms as is, interlacing the fingers. I'm going to bring the legs together and go through my nice Pilates broken down plank, if you will. I don't really title it, but maybe broken down plank sounds pretty good. So toes can stay long to start. Take a nice inhale. As you exhale, engage the belly and then lift up on the knees. Actually, I have to come a little closer here. And on the inhale, tuck the toes. On the exhale, lift the knees and stay in plank. Inhale here. Exhale, lower down the knees. Inhale, release the feet. Exhale, lower the hips, lift the heart. Inhale here. Exhale, scoop the belly. Lift to half plank. Inhale, tuck the toes. Exhale, lift the knees. Inhale, stay. Make sure your head is extended or your neck's extended. Exhale, lower the knees. Inhale, release the feet. Exhale, hips come down, heart lifts. Inhale here. Exhale, lift the hips. Inhale, tuck the toes. Exhale, lift the knees. Inhale, stay. Exhale, lower the knees. Inhale, release the feet. Exhale, hips and heart. One more time. Inhale. Exhale. Lifting it up. Inhale, tuck the toes. Exhale, lift the knees. Inhale, stay. Exhale, lower the knees. Inhale, the feet. Exhale, lower the hips, lift the heart. And crocodile pose, so stacking those hands, letting the head rest on the hands, and give the hips a little rock here. And one more breath. And gently release the hands under the shoulders. Take your inhale, same as we just did. Exhale, scoop the belly. Press it up and back. Find your child's pose again. Coming up onto hands and knees. Let's find downward facing dog. If you don't want down dog, but you still want the energy of it, you can take a plank instead. Or you can stand up and go against a wall, put your hands on the wall, make your body a 90-degree angle. That works too. And feel free to pedal the feet here. Even if you're against the wall, you can pedal through the feet. If you have no idea what I'm talking about, this is what I mean. So hands against the wall, folding it down so you're about halfway. And from here you can pedal through. You'll still get a nice stretch through the hips and the hamstrings. No matter which variation you take. Sorry, wall. So from here, coming to a nice neutral downward facing dog. I'm going to take one of my favorite ways to twist in down dog. So let's bring the right heel in so that your feet create a T shape. Then stand on the right foot. The left foot can be nice and relaxed here. The ball of the foot just gently touches. And then push the right hip up and back. This opens up the waistline and the outer hip. You might feel it in the belly a little bit as well. If it feels good for you, you can come up onto the fingertips. And here's how you translate this on the wall. Turn one leg in, pop the hip out, and then you're going to reach away from the wall. It's not as intense, but you may still feel a nice stretch through the body. Yeah. And gently come back to neutral and switch to the other side. So the left heel turns in, right leg is parallel. Stand on that left foot and press that hip away from the ribs. You can come to fingertips on the left hand if that's available for you. And gently bring it back to a neutral. And let's bring it down. Child's pose one more time. So from here, finding your way to the top of the mat. Let's take a nice wide stance here. And you can do this lifted so that your spine is parallel to the ground. Or if you'd like to fold all the way forward, you can. You can always bend the knees if you need to or want to. This provides a little bit more of an inner thigh stretch. Still gets the hamstrings. And what I'm going to do here is shift the hips from side to side. So even if you're upright, just make sure that the weight is in either the middle of your foot or towards the ball of the foot. If your weight is back in your heels, you're not going to feel it in your hamstring. So it might be a little scary here. Just make sure that your abdominals are lifted. You won't fall. Your hands will catch you. You can do this against the wall as well if you'd rather. Right? You can come to there and then just shift the hips from side to side. So this is all about the hip area, the hamstrings. You may feel it in the waist or the lower back a little bit. Just to get a little bit of movement in there. Good. And from here, outwardly rotating the legs and finding garland pose. Ooh, this is a nice crack in the knee. So you can choose to take this actively, as I am here, with the palms pressed and the elbows energized with the legs, or if you want to be more passive, you can let yourself curl forward. Just be mindful of the back of your neck. Overstretching sometimes can cause headaches later. So a little sensation is always okay, but just be mindful it's not too intense. And from here, let the fingertips come down, hips come up. Heel toe the feet together. Lift yourself halfway up if you're not there already. Exhale, fold. And then inhale, reverse swan neck, come all the way up to vertical. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Good. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. All right, one more time. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, hands to the heart. So I'm actually going to use the wall for this next part, and this is going back to some of my dance training. Standing in a nice first position, heels together, toes out to the side. I'm using the wall. If you have a chair, you can use a chair. And you want your arm to be slightly in front of the shoulder. And I'm going to take a side bend or a cambre over the bar, if you will. But I'm going to take some liberties here, so I'm not being so strict on my alignment. As I lean over, I'm going to let my fingertips touch the wall here. My left foot is pressing down, but I'm allowing my hips to move to the right. So this is more of just a side stretch than it is a true cambre over the bar. And then coming up and switching to the other side. And I'm standing in this outwardly rotated position to help engage the glutes. If you're not used to standing in this position, you'll definitely feel it. Coming back up. Now let's try the same thing in parallel. See how it feels different. So legs in a nice parallel position right under the hips. You can still bring your hand to the wall. Inhale as you lift up, and then exhale, side bend. How does it feel different? There's definitely less engagement through the glutes. I feel more in the quads. But always a nice stretch through the waist. All right, so I'm gonna work that out. Do my little jazz thing, working it out. Shaking out those legs. And coming up to the top of the mat. Well, inhaling here, bringing the arms up overhead. Exhale, hands to the heart. Shift your weight onto the left leg, lift the right leg up. Outwardly rotate, find tree. Nice calm breath and balance here. Make sure that the hips are level in your tree pose. Once you start lifting this right hip up, it makes the balance a little unsteady. Nice strong energy, foot pressing against the inner leg pressing against the foot. So there's a nice center line. Belly pulls up, chest is open, neck is long, crown of the head up to the ceiling. Make sure that standing foot is nice and relaxed, that you're not gripping the toes, but the foot is spread and the toes are actually connected to the mat. From here, stepping back, finding warrior two. Inhaling, straightening the legs, arms up overhead. Exhale, warrior two. If you've practiced with me before, we have done this. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, settling in. And a few more times. Inhale, up. Exhale, settling down. Inhale, lifting up. Exhale, coming down. Inhale, coming up. Exhale, triangle pose, keeping the legs straight. We'll stay here for a few breaths. Top arm can do what you'd like it to. vertical. Exhale, warrior two. Take another inhale here. Exhale, extended side angle. Forearm crosses the thigh, other arm can sweep up and over. Or if you feel ready, you can go a little deeper here. Left hand to the inside of the front foot. Good. From here, bring both hands down to the mat, rotating the back leg so you're in high lunge. Let the back knee gently lower. And walk the left foot out for lizard pose. So the left leg's outwardly rotated from the hip, from the thigh. If you want a little more intensity for the bottom leg, lift the knee slightly, pull it in towards your center line, and then lower it again. You may feel it a little differently in that hip flexor. And take your lizard where you'd like to go. If you'd like to do a little bit of movement through the spine, little lateral movement, you'll feel it through the hips, the lower back. But move slowly, move mindfully. If you have chosen to move, gently come back to neutral. Tuck the back toe, lift up into high lunge, square off the front leg. Step it up. Ooh, ah. Find Ardha Uttanasana. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands come to the heart. I'm going to stay here for a few breaths because boy, do my hips feel that one. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Exhale, hands come to the heart. Inhale, sweeping the arms up. Let's move to the other side. Exhale, weight into the right foot. Left leg lifts upward, outwardly rotate, and find tree. Just remember to always avoid the knee joint. The foot rests either above it or below it. Find your balance, find your breath. From here, gently releasing the foot, stepping it back, finding warrior two. And moving through our little flow here, inhale, lifting the arms, straightening the leg. Exhale, settle back into your warrior two. A few more times, inhaling up, exhaling warrior two. On this next flow, moving into triangle pose. Staying for a few breaths. Inhale, coming up through vertical. Exhale, warrior two. Take an inhale here. And exhale, extended side angle. Taking it to whatever intensity you need today. Gently bringing the hands down to the front of your mat. Turn to a nice parallel position so the back heel rotates up. Gently lower the knee and make your way to lizard pose. So the right leg will inch its way out. Rotate from the thigh. And take your lizard where you want it to go. So you can stay put wherever you are. If you want a little bit of movement, you can give some lateral bending in the spine, meaning lean towards the upper thigh, come through neutral, and then gently lean away. I like this because it brings out some of the subtleties in the hips and through the spine. Plus it's moving, I like moving. Moving your body is healthy. And gently bring yourself back to neutral. Tuck the back toe, lift the knee, square off the front leg. Let's step it back this time. So the right leg comes back, find your plank. We'll take a vinyasa from here. Exhaling, knees, chest, chin, or chaturanga. Inhale, cobra or up dog. Exhale, down dog or child's pose. And gently coming back up onto hands and knees. I'm doing a lot of lateral stuff, a lot of side to sides, because the yoga practice that I filmed yesterday after Wake and Stretch, there was a lot of back bending, and my poor back is a little bit sore from all that. It happens. So my solution to that is the lateral movement to help to stretch out the quadratus lumborum, which is part of the issue. The psoas is probably another part of the issue. There's a whole lot of stuff that's going on down there. Anyway, the next thing I'm going to do is try to strengthen it and give it some power and give it some love in that way. So I'm going to take opposite arm, leg balance. If your wrists are unhappy, knuckle it up. The right leg will go back first. Engage the belly, make sure it's lifting up and in. Then just lift that leg up about an inch. It does not have to come high, but energize so that the heel is pressing back. If this is enough for you, you can stay here. If you want to go next step, take the right arm forward and make a fist. So you're nice and long from fist to heel. And breathe here for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Gently bring the hand and the knee back down to neutral. If you want to release the hands, we'll rest back on the heels for a moment. Just a moment, and then we'll come back up. Taking that again, extend the right leg, ankle flexed. Then the left arm comes forward with a fist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Release it down. A little bit of break. And we'll go one more time for a count of 3. Leg comes out, belly engaged. Left fist forward. 1, 2, 3. Good. Come back to tabletop and then shift back, how we'll see. And we do the other side. So balancing yourself on the left hand or knuckle. Now, is that right? Yes, that's right. Left leg comes back, flexing the ankle only about an inch off the ground. Keep the lower belly engaged so you're nice and stable. And then the right arm comes forward, make that fist. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Gently release. Sitting back. Relax out the wrists and the hands. Now we go for a count of 6. Coming back up. Left leg back first, then the right arm. Belly engaged. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Gently release. Sit it back. And we go for a count of 3. Coming back up. And we have 1, 2, 3. Gently release. Child's pose if you'd like, or if you don't like it, you just sit upright. Good. So from here, let's roll it over. Find your way onto your back. Laying nice and flat. And I'm going to do a little bit more with the hips. Not a whole bunch, just a little bit more. Hamstrings as well. So thigh comes into the chest. Wind relieving pose. I did do this yesterday, but I'm going to take take this to another place. So we want to keep this left hip solid on the ground. As we move this right leg, the left hip is going to want to lift up off the mat. Do your best to keep the abdominals engaged so that the hip stays down. If you need to place a hand there to remind yourself, then do that. Right? So we're going to take this top leg. You can hold on to the shin bone or you can hold on underneath and outwardly rotate the thigh. Keep the hip bones and the belly button pointing straight up. Now from here, you can extend the leg out. For my dancer friends, this is a nice Alice cone. Keep pressing that left heel down into the mat. And from here, you can bend the knee, bringing the heel to the sit bone, and extend again. So you can do a bunch of extensions here if you want. Keeping the leg outwardly rotated. So we're not trying to keep it in parallel at all. I don't even know if you could do that here. I'm gonna go one more time. And bring it back in, and then sweep it across the body, nice spinal twist. Coming back to neutral. Cross the ankle over the thigh, taking reclined pigeon from here. So you're still working the right hip. Make sure the spine is nice and long on the ground. If it's not, then put props underneath so that your spine is supported. That includes your hips and your head. So if you're curled up, put something underneath so that you can relax into it. One more breath here. And keep your hands on that left leg. Right leg extends up and then down to the mat. So the heel is now connected. Squaring off the hips, a wind relieving pose. All right, now taking that left leg, bringing it to an outward rotation, making sure the hips are square to the ceiling, and the bottom foot, you can't see it, the bottom foot down here is pressing down into the mat. All right, so taking this left leg now and extending it out, and then pulling it in, heel to the sit bone, and move with your breath. However it makes sense to you. And then bring it back to a folded position. Guide the leg across your body, a nice spinal twist. Gently coming back through center, hugging the knees into your chest. Give a little rock from side to side. And then let's bring ourselves into a Shavasana. Let's stay here for about 10 to 15 breaths, give or take. Just let yourself relax. If you'd like to stay in your Shavasana longer, please do. If you're ready to come out, and take a nice deep breath. Start to move the fingers, the toes, the hands, the feet, the wrists, the ankles. Give a nice long stretch through the body. And hug the knees in towards your chest. Give a little rock from side to side. And then from here, roll onto your right side into fetal position. Gently press yourself up to a seated position. Either place the hands in prayer in front of the heart, or one on your heart and one on your belly. Eyes closed and chin gently lowered. Taking a few breaths to check in. After moving your body and breathing with it. And as always, give a moment of gratitude, something you're thankful for today. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Namaste. So I thank you for joining me on this Awaken stretch for June 10th. I didn't actually say the date this morning. It's okay, because I usually don't know what day it is anyway. But I do know today is June 10th. I'm not sure why I know that, but I know that. So if you are doing these Awaken stretches, if you would, just because I'm curious, I want to see how you're doing with it, take a picture or a short video of you doing the Awaken stretch, and if you could, post it to your social media, Instagram, Facebook. I don't know how you would post it to YouTube, so I guess let's just stick with Instagram and Facebook, and tag me in it at holly.r.jan.yoga. So this way I can see it, and I can say whoop whoop, good job. Anyhow, so if you wouldn't mind doing that, that would be awesome. I would love that. So yeah, I think that wraps up today. I hope you have a beautiful day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.